Hello everyone, this is Lisa Kester at my home studio. I'm with Wild Acorns Art Studio, and not with them, I am them. Anyway, today we are going to hand paint with underglazes. We're going to do like a sgraffito, I call it kind of doodle, my doodle bowls kind of. But so we're going to use, I have a whole bunch of these little Kiwi Underglazes. So we're going to use underglazes on, this is probably B-Mix 5 with grog. I did have some Kentucky Mudworks, oh, I can't think of which one it was. It'll come to me. But anyway, I did have some Kentucky Mudworks clay. It's a cone 5. So this is Bisqueware. I prefer to underglaze on Bisqueware. Number one, if you mess up, it's a lot easier to wipe off. You don't have to worry about adding, too much underglaze, too much water. And if your bowls are, somewhat, thin at the top, I've had them crack when I did it on greenware. So some people prefer to do it on greenware, and that's, perfectly fine. But I kind of like to use them like watercolor, so I add some water to mine. So I prefer to do it on Bisqueware. And so once I apply the underglaze on here, I will let it dry, and then I'm going to use one of my trusty Xiem applicator bottles, XIEM. They make them in red and blue. The red one's a little bit smaller if you have smaller hands. And this is a yellow tip, number 20. So I'm going to outline it with that. So this is going to be a little bit different than my prior doodle bowls because I'm not going to cover the entire thing with glaze. And I'm not going to put as much stuff on it, I guess, as I used to. So let me lower you down. You can see it's a fall day here. The leaves are falling here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's raining today, so it's kind of cold, kind of chilly. I had to turn my we had to turn our heat on. Let me loosen this up. See if I can reach over here. There we go. Gosh, I don't know how some people do this with it. I use my phone, which works for me. But I even got my little heater on over here, which, oops, let me turn off so you can hear me better. So we're going to do this one here. So here's what I did a while back. This one's a little different, whereas I covered the whole thing, and I don't think I'm going to do that with this one. I did the bottom. The only problem when you do the bottom, so once I did the bottom, I had a few things on here from the kiln. I put clay or kiln wash on my shelves. So then when you try to stand it off, then it doesn't look very nice. So I don't know. Sometimes I like to put things on the bottom, but I don't know. So I never sold that one because I didn't like the look of it. And then I've got one here. Now this one, if you notice that other one, I applied black outline. This is black outline. This is a stencil here. And then that's a black outline. So, and then you can see I drew the sun. That's all black outline. This one I did not add any black outline. And it's a much softer look. This one, same thing though. See, I had to sand the bottom, but you'll notice this one here is a much softer look, which I really like. In fact, I love it. But I think in the future, like this could have used some black outline. So I think what I'm going to try to do from here forward is not feel like I have to outline everything. Just something like this, maybe just outline some, and then it won't look quite so busy as the other one. So, like I said, I'm using Kiwi Underglazes. I kind of line them up over here, so in case you're not familiar with them. And then I have them in these little ice cube trays that have lids. You can find these on Amazon. I I've noticed that a lot of potters are using these trays now. So I don't know. I guess word is spreading, you know, how nice they are to, because I like to have them out looking at them. And like these, you can't work out of the bottle. You know, if you get the small one, if you get the small ones of the Mayco, you could just open them all up on the table and work out of there. But, you know, if you contaminate it, you kind of contaminate a whole bottle. But my tray for the Amazon Velvets, I've got it sitting here in front of me. They probably hold 2 ounces a piece. This tray is really heavy. So this is that's my Amico Velvets, which I love too. They are definitely one of my favorites. But I am loving these Kiwis. They go on very smooth. They fire very bright. So I really have no issues with them. And I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do here. I need to stir up a couple. I noticed, you know, sometimes the water when I don't really have problems with them drying out unless it's been a long time since I used them. But a lot of times, if I know I'm not going to use them for a while, I'll just give them a spray with water before I close them up, and that usually takes care of it. You just have to be careful you don't spray them too much, and then they get too watery. These look really watery, and I'm not. A couple of them do. Some of them don't. So I may have added just a tad too much water, but when I close them up this time, I won't add any more water. I think I get the same color here and here. But it's weird how they look one color on the top. You know how the colors, the pigments separate. So, God, that's really watery. But I bet it'll go on fine. I'm not sure. This must be the lime green here. Because it's a little bit lighter than and then must be apple green. And then this green is meadow green. Let me just give these a quick stir here. Like I said, sometimes, you know, the pigment settles on the top, and so the color, especially with the purples, I find this a lot with the Amico Velvets, that like the color will look like it's blue, the underglaze. Then when you stir it up, you realize it's yellow, and for some reason the blue pigment will settle to the top, which is kind of, I don't know if you guys had that happen. I don't know if that's because I've added water to it. I like when the water kind of evaporates a little bit, because it makes them a little bit more concentrated, the colors and stuff. So, all right, I think I got those. I think I might try to do 2 at a time, because I really don't think this will take very long, but I could be wrong. I'm going to get a bigger brush for some of this. So when I'm looking at the colors, the first thing I'm going to do is try to look for colors that go together. And so the lime green and the blues are always my favorite. And of course I love the yellow, and of course the orange goes with the yellow. But these colors all kind of go together, so I don't think I have a problem with anything. I may stay away from the red, and I'll probably stay away from the pink too. So let's see here. I had done one of these last week, and I see this watery that is, it's going on dry. So see what I mean? They I don't know. Sometimes it helps to wet your piece. I've done that before, so they don't dry so fast. I'm gonna dip this in water. I know some people say don't do that, but I've never had a problem. You dip it in water, and sometimes it absorbs. Obviously, it absorbs the water, and your colors don't dry as fast. If you're painting certain things, you want it to dry, but in my case, I want some of these things to blend, so I don't want it to dry too fast. Okay. Then whenever I get on the bottom, I may put some on the bottom. Like you can see I got the stamp on the bottom. Sometimes I think it's fun to add some underglaze to the letters in there. And then I'll go back and dry it off, or sponge it back and then dry it off when I'm done. All right, so these are going on kind of funky today. I don't know why, but I think I'm going to try to do a flower here maybe or something. That's why I'm kind of adding those. And I try to add 3 layers or 2 heavy layers. So let's see, like look at this. I think this is a purple, but it looks kind of blue because the underglaze. Can you see the blue? The blue. See, it looks a little bit blue. I don't know if you can see in this light, but it looks a little blue on top. But I know it's purple. Let's see. Let's get some of this turquoise. I love turquoise. I really should have had a plan. There we go. It's fine. It's finally chilly here, so it really, leaves are starting to fall, and it definitely feels like fall now. I think it was in the 50s today. I have a little white Jeep 2-door, and I've had the top off since I bought it this summer, and it's been so much fun to drive it around with the top down and pretend I'm young again. And we had to put the top back on it this weekend. It was so sad. I don't know why these are kind of going on funny today, but don't know. Oh, let's see. There's a darker blue here. This is a funny blue. It's almost it's kind of got, you can tell after you put it on here, it's kind of got some purples in it. It's got a little. You see that? So I think I'm going to do the same thing on all the blue pieces so it looks, well, there's Molly. Molly, honey, I'm trying to make a video. Nobody wants to see you. You're blocking the camera. She's, oh gosh. Nothing like putting your butt in the camera. Hello, pretty girl. call her Princess because she's got real long hair. She's part Maine Coon. And, yeah, she thinks she's a princess, don't you? Don't you? Molly. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Yeah. Molly, I think she, sometimes I think she thinks she's a dog. She'll lay in my lap and I just rub her belly. She loves her belly rubbed. Which is strange for a cat. Well, she's going back over now in her box and lay down. She probably got up because she heard my voice. When I'm sitting in the chair watching TV, she's always in my lap. And then Charlie gets jealous. So there's that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with a little bit smaller brush. Kind of see that. Trying to decide what to put here. I don't want to do red with green because I think it'll give off a feel of Christmas. Let's do purple. Let's do purple, huh? This brush, I don't know why. Well, I know why, because the clay from the glazes get up inside the bristles, and it ruins the brushes. I do have a sponge I clean them with, but it doesn't really get real deep in the bristles. I don't know if I'm really liking that or not, but I might go around the edges with the whiteness, but the pink, but I don't know. I have to think about it. Because you got to remember, I'm going to outline them, so I really hate that brush. I'm going to get a different brush. And when you clean it up, it's got a real nice point on it, but let's try this one. This one's a little bit smaller. So what I was thinking about doing is outlining the leaves, but now I'm kind of, I don't know. What to do? I think I'll do right here is hope you can see this okay. I was down at Dunham today we've only got one more class after this week. And then I'm off for a few weeks, and then we're going to do a bell class. We're going to do bells, and I think some people might do wind chimes, but we're going to make these bells. I call them kind of cowbells, but so it's just it's basically a rectangular wrapped around and then pinched at the top, and then the inside I have a little loop which I'm going to hang the clapper from. So it's just pinched at the top. I guess I'm going to do a video. I'm trying to do a video on that. I can't keep track. I've got so many that I did. I kind of can't keep track of which ones I did and which ones I didn't. But, so that's what the class we're working on for December. So, because I really don't have any main classes until January. Kind of trying to decide if I'm going to do a knee replacement in January, or I don't know. Sometimes it's, I have good days and bad days, and it's like, well, if it's working, I hate to do I hate to do the surgery, but by now I've kind of forgot how painful the last one was. There we go. I'm not sure how much I like the white background on some of these, because I really am liking the blue on the blue, the two shades of blue. I'm not liking this as much. So I may, the same with this, I will probably go over with yellow just to add some more color so I don't, but if I put yellow over this, it would cover up the whole thing. Yeah, so these will be fired in a cone 5 kiln with a 20-minute hold. I always do a 20-minute hold now because it really helps with any pinholes that people get in their glaze. Sometimes it's the glaze, sometimes it's the clay doesn't like the glaze doesn't like the clay. But a lot of times people add too much glaze, and then the organic gases that come out of the clay make pinholes in the glaze. And if your kiln doesn't stay at a high temperature for a long enough period, those holes don't get enough time to heal over, and so you end up with pinholes. So I always do a 20-minute hold. I'm going to actually leave the lid off of some of these. I'm not sure. Some of these have gotten a little runny. So I'm just kind of doing random ones here. You got to be careful they don't run either. Guys, I keep forgetting I gotta hold it up so you can see. So I guess that'll be some of my white. Once I get the rest covered up, it won't be too bad. Let me see here. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow here. Really, really running on some of these. What? Yeah. Yeah, I fed Charlie. He's a hoghead. I'm not sure if I'm liking this either. Well, that'll be alright, I guess. Sometimes it's nice to take a pencil and draw your designs first. I usually don't think that far ahead, but that would be a good idea. Especially if you have a certain, design in mind. I'm going to put a couple things of yellow in these green leaves just to tie the yellow here into the leaves. I'm not sure what I'm going to do around the outside yet. My back gets cramped sitting in this chair for some reason. Oh, goodness. go. So whenever you're putting, you know, whether you're doing a doodle bowl or whatever, you always want your design colors to be, you know, scattered, and they used to always say uneven numbers. So 3s or 5s. I don't know if how many people really pay attention to that anymore, but let's see. I might do some orange. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, you just gotta play with it. You don't know what's gonna work until you put it on there. I guess you could always wash it off, but whoops, that had some water in it. I thought I stirred these up good. One thing I did notice that, I don't know why, but the clear over some of the underglazes pulls away when you fire it in the glaze fire. So, you know, if you did an extra firing, you wouldn't have that problem. You know, like if you fired this and then cleared it after, and then did a third firing, but I don't, you know, it's not very economical to do it that way. Looks pretty cute. I'll put a couple orange lines in there. There you go. Looks a little sloppy with the yellow, but I think it'll be okay when I add the black outline. Let's see. I'm going to put some. I did some purple dots in that green, so I think I'm going to do some purple dots in this green. And hope it doesn't run. Try to stir that up a little more. I don't know. These appear a little bit runnier than usual. I must have sprayed them a little bit too much the last time, maybe. I thought I wasn't going to use them again in a while. There we go. So I'm not going to do any more dots because I got dots next to dots, which I really don't want, but I like to keep things uniform, I guess you could say. We had a really strange event a couple of days ago. We had a little boy show up in our backyard. He was, turns out he was 3 years old. It was about 50 degrees, I guess. He had no shoes on, just socks, a t-shirt, and some pants. And he wouldn't talk to us, and it turns out that he was nonverbal. Probably, I would have to say he was autistic. But he wouldn't talk, didn't act like he heard me, and so we ended up calling 911. And the police finally showed up after about 20 minutes. But it turned out that he walked all the way here through some woods, up a hill, from a house that's 2 doors down. Well, when I say 2 doors down, I mean our yard is almost an acre. And the guy next door, his is probably a half acre or more. So this little boy, he walked, I bet he was gone from his house for at least, I would say at least an hour, and nobody came looking for him. I don't know the situation, but the police handled it, of course. But he just kept moving. He was running to my neighbor's house, and I'm trying to pick him up, but with my back, I couldn't hold him very long. He kept wiggling to get down, and gosh, I didn't know what to do. So then my neighbors came out and they helped me entertain him until the police came, and I kind of told the police where to go to start their search because I had already gone to a couple doors. I went to a couple of neighbors and thinking it was their grandkids because we don't really have a lot of kids where I live. I live on a pretty busy street. And sure enough, they went to the house I told them to go to, and it was their child. They had just, I guess, moved in to their parents' house, and I don't know, somehow this little boy got out, but very, very scary because, like I said, we live on a very busy street. So if he'd have gotten in the street, it would not have been good. So I pray that they figure out a way to keep that little boy in the house because winter's coming now. So what do you think? It's kind of... And then I think I'm going to do some lines. I think I'll do them here. You don't never do them just in one place. I think I'll do them here. And I'm going to try to do them in 3 places. Let's see here. They kind of are fun. But I'm not going to do them down here, I don't think. Yellow is just such a pretty, happy color. So these will probably all end up... I am going to try to have a sale at my house if it warms up a little bit. Maybe next weekend. I just don't want to have it if it's 40 degrees. Okay, so I got it there. So I'd like to I think I'm going to put some here too. Either that or it'll end up on my Etsy shop. I need to add some things to my Etsy shop. I think I'm going to be in an art show. It's kind of called Ladies' Night Out at the country club up the street. So I will need to keep some things aside for that. But if you see anything you like, just, comment and I'll sell it to you or ship it to you or whatever if you want. But like some of these, I think are gonna. I don't know. You have to kind of think about where you're selling at and what's going to sell there. And I know from being at this particular country club that most of them are young girls. I should say. Well, I'm old, so they're all younger than me. Oh, most of them are younger than me. But they like bling, shiny things, jewelry. They're just not really interested in too much pottery. I don't know. So, okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, what they're interested in. They had all their black leather pants on and oh, I don't know. Just not me. I'm very plain. I rarely that's hard to say, rarely have jewelry on. I try to remember if we go out, but I grew up with 4 brothers. I was a tomboy. I never wore dresses or wore jewelry or that stuff never really interested me. My mother probably wasn't happy about that since I was the only girl. But that's the way it was. So I'm almost done, but I don't like this. There's too much white there. So I think I'm just going to put some more, maybe different color leaves. I don't have, I could bring the light blue. I've got this green, this one. I definitely don't want to add another color green. I got orange in it already. This purple here. So I think I'll bring this blue. I think I'll do the light blue. Let's do the light blue and let's see if it looks okay. We'll try it. If we don't like it, we can go over it with the darker blue. In fact, maybe I'll do the light blue and then do a stripe of the darker blue on top. Oops, I stuck it in the wrong color. But yeah, that was so scary with that little boy. I have a son, special needs, but I never had to worry about him, getting out of the house. It's a big responsibility, I can tell you that. Any child, really, that you raise, it's a big responsibility. Let's see, I got a little bit of green on there, so I'm going to have to decide what to put. We got a delivery. I think that's our third delivery today. Everybody's delivering today. I ordered some stuff from Kohl's. You can get the package for me, Chris. So there's that. I know it's not looking too great, is it? Shh. Charlie, shh. Oh, goodness. Hey, shush. So I'm going to add this darker blue over the top, just at the beginning here. I don't know. We'll see. Can't say I'm 100% happy with it, but, it is what it is. So here we got. Yeah, that doesn't look too good, does it? I think it'll look okay once I put the black outline on, though. So let's see. Get that. I think I might do sideways lines in the orange, maybe. I have to think. Oh, maybe lime green to tie the lime green in. Because I think yellow wouldn't show up. So I think I'm going to do another layer of the orange to make sure that that's strong. Chris, just put that in here. We don't want Daddy seeing that. Put it on my desk. Come on, boy. You know better than that. Oh, I'm bad, I know. So I noticed I only have an orange here, but I don't have orange anywhere else. So I think I'm going to add some orange over this yellow here, but just at the bottom. Not a real big spot. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I don't like the yellow flat on the bottom, so I'm going to go over that with the yellow again, and just so the yellow overlaps the yellow overlaps the orange. There we go. I got spaghetti and meatballs in the oven. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. It's about, I think it's about 4 o'clock here. Or maybe 4:30, and lost track of time. So what was I going to, oh, was I do lime green on the orange. Now I'm thinking, should I do yellow? Let's see, I do want to bring out this leaf a little further on here, so I can fill in some of that white there. And then I'm going to bring this yellow stripe, make sure my brush has got all the water out. I'm going to bring this over one more, because I don't mind white spots, but not too many. You know, you get carried away, and next thing you know, they're all covered up. remember me saying I was going to leave a lot of white, but I do have some white, right? So, but I do think I want to add something to the orange, and I don't want to do it with the black outline, because I think it'll be too harsh. So I think I'm going to do, I'll do the lime green. Let's just do the lime green, right? Just go for it. Can't sit here forever and say, well, Lisa, if you'd have planned it out, you wouldn't have to make these rash decisions. But, oh, and they're dots. I didn't mean to do dots. Well, they're going to be dots. I didn't want to put dots with dots. That's what I get for thinking about my Kohl's order, not my pot here. I ordered this cool carry along 6-quart slow cooker. Like, you can, it's got a handle on it, so you can take it places, like for Thanksgiving. So I'm not I don't know. I'm not real happy with I'm actually not going to do the dots on this one, even though I did them on the other one. I'm going to do lines. We'll see what we like. And hopefully this will be dry enough for me to outline. But I could turn the camera off for a little bit and see. So that's what we did there. I think I do like, well, I don't know. I had lines above and lines below in either place, so I'm not liking this like 100%, but I don't know. I could put, if I do a watered down lavender, I don't know, there's something about leaving white spaces. Don't necessarily like it. Okay, so let's hopefully this is dry enough, like I said, or I'm going to sponge the bottom off. There we go. I got cat hair everywhere. Everything's got cat hair on it. Good thing it burns out in the kiln. Every time I pick something up, it's got cat hair. Yeah, so I'm going to tidy up the bottom a little bit. Just where I have stuff that's hanging down to the bottom, you know. I want the edges to be finished or look complete. I haven't done really a test of Kiwi's Underglazes on the kiln shelf. I know the Mayco velvets do not stick to the kiln shelf. Well, unless you add like 3 or 4 coats, and they could flux a little bit, and then they might stick. But I've never had them stick, and I know I've had a couple coats, so yeah, I've never had a problem. Okay. Now I have to find a dry spot. So I think I'm going to do the flower first, because I think that's pretty dry. That's the hardest part, is not smearing your design. Oh, whoops. These little bottles are so cute, and they stay so clean, you know, because they have the squirt thing at the top. They're not cheap. We talked about this in my other video. I mean, these are 4 ounces, and a jar of Mayco velvets is 16 ounces. So these are, you know, anywhere from $8 to $12, I think. So that's, you know, times that by 4, you could have $40 to $50. So I can't say they're really cheap. They're made in New Zealand. So, but there are places closer that sells them. So oh shoot, oh, there it is. Can't lose the pin that goes in my applicator bottle here. Okay, so this is Mayco Velvet Black Underglaze in here. Any black underglaze will do. And in fact, you can use brown. You can use any color. And there's different kind of applicator bottles too. I just have really fallen in love with this one, because you barely have to squeeze it to get the underglaze out. Some of them you have to really press kind of hard, and then I don't know, it's hard to do. Yeah, let's see. So I add a little bit of water to the underglaze. And like I always say, if you add too much, if it runs out, if you turn it upside down and it drips, you've added too much. If it clogs constantly, you need to add a little more water. And the faster you go, the thinner your line will be. I made a boo-boo there. My leaves were supposed to have 1 line. I put 2. Because I can't talk and do this at the same time very well, I guess. Oh well. It's a Doodle mug, right? Okay, now I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure what. I think I'm just going to outline. Gosh, it's cat hair. Cat hair. Especially Molly. Molly's a long-haired cat, and oh my gosh, she's... If you think it's clogging, I just have a rag over here I'm cleaning out the nozzle with. And you always want to pull the nozzle away from you, because you do not want to get this underglaze up in the nozzle, because it will clog, and then you have to stick the pin up in there to get it back out. So that's one of the benefits of doing a third firing, is if you fire this, you don't have to worry about the underglaze clogging the thing. So that's really changed. I can't say I'm loving it, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. think I'm going to circle these, but I'm not going to circle the purple ones on the green. You do waste a lot of underglaze by constantly cleaning the tip, but just part of the experience, right? I don't know why I'm adding these dots, but you know me and dots. Okay, then I'm going to go I can smell my dinner cooking. I made meatballs out of Italian sausage, and then we're using a local pizza parlor's pasta sauce. I don't know about this. I like La Rosa's, which some people love and some people don't, but I like it. So there we go so far. And then this, I just don't know. Don't know about that. Let me do the rest and think about it, because I don't know if I want to outline each one of those. Oh, I smeared a little bit right there. I don't know how. I don't think I even touched it, but I guess I did. I mean, you've got more than, you got 3 layers, and it doesn't dry as fast. Plus, since it's raining outside, the humidity's up. So I'm just going to put a line through here and we'll see what it looks like. I wish I'd have brought the other one home from Dunham to show you how it turned out, because I thought the other one was really cute. And it's fired, so I will add a picture of the final once it's out of the glaze. Once it's out of the kiln, the final glaze firing. I will post a picture. It won't be a whole lot different. Just be shiny. This is going on really thick right there, so I hope it doesn't run. I may not have shook this up enough, and it may have separated inside here a little bit. So I may have. I'm going to set this down real quick and put my pin back in, because it's coming out a little runny. I hope it doesn't run on there. Always store this. I don't empty this in between. I just leave the underglaze in there and just leave it go. But I do always store it upside down. You don't want that tip to dry out. That's a pain in the hiney to clean out. So let me make sure I don't want to set this down, because I'm afraid that it's going to smear what's ever on the back, because it's not drying very fast at all. And then I think, so here, so you see how I got the dots and the dots? So my solution for that is little asterisks, I guess you call them. And I think, oh, that's right, I gotta put some dots around here just to kind of keep it the same as what I did with the dots on the other yellow lines. And we're almost done. Thank you for watching, guys. Girls, guys. I appreciate it very much. If you like the video and want to share it, please do. It helps me, and so I can keep making more videos. Let's see here. I'm putting you. I'm gonna hold this up. I'm putting like little hashtag, like they're little like little sewing marks around some of them. I like little. It's my way of outlining, but not really outlining, right? I think that's good. I don't want to outline the individual boxes, because I think, I don't know, I think that would look too much. So maybe just a couple. Okay, I think that's good. So here we go. So I'm still not loving that section there, but I may do something with that. I'm not sure. I'll show you the end picture though. So I think the rest turned out really cute. I'm loving like all this here, and then like I like this here, this whole section. I really like that. I think what I might do is let's see, where'd my other brush go? I think I'm gonna go over this with lavender. Let's just see. I could want to shoot myself after this, but I'm just not loving it. You guys let me know if I ruined it. I don't know how this will look. That's not too bad, really. So there's what I did. I think the black liner will come through here, but just in case, I'm going to go over it again. The white just looked too stark to me. So what do you guys think? I think it looks better now. I'm liking it better. I like it better. Okay, so we are done. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great evening. And if you make one of these, please share it on my, I guess you can get on my Instagram. I don't know if you can share it on there. I got rid of my Facebook business page because sometimes it was working and sometimes it wasn't. So what I do with my Etsy site, Etsy shop, but I'm on Facebook. I mean, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram. So, or I think you can add, I don't have to let you add a photo to YouTube. I don't know why they won't. But anyway, there it is. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.